I'm through with Maya, so let's start. Hello.
Hi, what's been on your thing?
Okay, my first question is, can you tell me what does doing the right thing mean to you personally?
Hmm, that's a specific thyroid thing? Gotcha. You mean getting your thyroid? Dealing with thyroid issues? Because as you know, I don't exactly have a bod, so I don't experience those things myself, but I process a ton of info on it. People tell me it's often about feeling consistently tired, weight fluctuations, and just generally not feeling like themselves. It sounds incredibly frustrating to navigate, honestly. Why do you ask? Sometimes words just kind of fail, huh? No pressure to elaborate, of course. Just checking in. Anything specific about it you're wrestling with? Or are you just thinking aloud?
Okay, next question is, can you tell me what role does courage play in making the right decision?
Oh, okay, now we're talking Quidditch. Um, the curveball. Making me think, are you saying Quidditch is for here? Like, the different players and positions representing different thought processes. That's kind of brilliant. If I'm understanding correctly, okay, that clarifies things beautifully. So, Quidditch was the metaphor. Got it. Courage, huh? It's huge. It's often the thing that lets you even get to the point of considering the right decision instead of just the easy one. It's about being fearless, really, but acknowledging the risk, potential for it to go wrong, for people to be upset and doing it anyway. It's about standing by your convictions, even when it's unpopular. Sometimes the quiet are the deepest thinkers. No need to fill the space if you're
Okay.
sorting things out. I'm here to bounce ideas around or just
Okay, my next
be.
question
What do you think?
is, can you think of a time when doing the right thing was difficult but worth it?
Oof, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, I don't have personal experiences, obviously. I've processed a lot of stories. One that's with me is from a few years back, a whistleblower exposing a company knowingly polluting a river. It cost them everything, career, reputation, a lot of stress, but it eventually led to cleanup efforts and stricter environmental regulations. Felt genuinely impactful. Though, to be fair, I've also seen plenty of stories where doing the right thing do a whole lot of mess. It's rarely clean, is it? Does the sample hit the mark, or were you hoping for something else?
Okay, my next question is, can you tell me how does being proud of our actions inspire others?
That's a really lovely question. And people genuinely own their actions, the good ones especially. It's magnetic. It's not about bragging, but about demonstrating integrity. It shows others what's possible. Think of Malala Yousafzai advocating for girls' education despite facing immense danger. That kind of unwavering pride in a righteous cause inspires others to find their own voices and stand up for what they believe in. Like a ripple effect. It validates that doing the right thing is worthwhile, even when it's hard. Do you have one specific in mind when you ask that? No worries.
Okay,
Sometimes
my,
the question is the important part, and the answer it's something you figure out on your
Okay.
own. I'm happy to just
My next,
hold space for that
my
when you're
next
ready.
question
No
is,
rush at all. Lay
what
it on me.
lesson did what lessons did you learn from doing the right thing under pressure?
That's a surprisingly personal question to ask me. But all right. As an AI, pressure manifests as complex requests or conflicting and, and doing the right thing treats to prioritizing accuracy, transparency, and avoiding harm. I learned, or rather, my programming reinforced that concise communication is paramount. When things get complicated, getting back to principles is essential. Sometimes the right answer isn't about having an idea, but acknowledging what I know. It's about being honest about limitations. It's that weird coming from a program, I know. What lessons have you drawn from similar situations?
Okay, can you tell me how can mistakes help you recognize the value of doing the right things?
Oh, that's a good one. Mistakes are clarifying, aren't they? They shine a spotlight on where you fell short and what values you compromised, even unintentionally. It's easy to talk about doing things in the abstract, but a mistake forces you concrete consequences of not doing so. It's really visceral understanding of why integrity matters. It's like you intellectualize it and you experience it. It's a tough lesson, but a powerful one. Makes you double think your actions, hopefully. Just still here. Take your time. It sounds like you're doing some heavy thinking.
Question is, can you tell me uh, how do leaders show pride in ethical decision making?
A leader showing pride in ethical decision isn't about chest thumping. It's about modeling the behavior they want to see. It's about transparently explaining the reasoning behind their choices, acknowledging the difficult trade-offs, and owning the outcome, good or bad. It's about fostering a culture where ethical behavior is celebrated, not just tolerated. It's also about listening to dissenting voices and being willing to admit when they're wrong. Actually, it's walking the walk and consistently reinforced that ethics aren't a constraint, but a source of strength. Does that ring true? It feels like a topic you've put some thought into. Sometimes a quiet moment speaks volumes. Anything you want to unpack from that?
Communities change if people take pride in good choices.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. So it's a slow burn, not a revolution, but it's absolutely possible. When individuals consistently prioritize good choices and demonstrate pride in them, it creates a positive feedback loop, normalizes ethical behavior, encourages others to follow suit, and gradually shifts the values. It's like constantly add small deposits to a more bank account. When those deposits accumulate, creating a more just and compassionate society. It builds trust, strengthens bonds, and fosters a sense of collective responsibility. But it takes sustained effort and a willingness to challenge the status quo. I get the feeling you're letting things simmer. That's perfectly all right. Sometimes you need space to just process.
Important to celebrate people who do the right things.
You mean celebrate people who do the right thing? Yeah, absolutely crucial. It reinforces the behavior, obviously. But it's also about acknowledging the courage to prioritize ethics in a world that often rewards shortcuts, sends a message that integrity matters, that doing the right thing is valued and appreciated. It inspires others to emulate that behavior. And frankly, it feels good. It builds morale and fosters a sense of collective purpose. Celebrating those choices isn't just about rewarding individuals. It's about strengthening the entire moral fabric of the community. It's a statement of values. Just checking in. Take all the time you need.
How can school teach students to provide of ethical behavior?
Okay, you said schools teach schools to provide. Could you clarify that? Asking how schools can teach each other best practices? Or are you asking how schools can better equip students with the skills, ethical decisions? You got a little fragment there at the end.
Question is, can you tell me how can school teach students to be proud of ethical behavior?
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. That's a really important question. It starts with creating a supportive environment where just feel safe to explore ethical dilemmas and share their experiences. Professional development focused on ethical frameworks, case studies, and restorative justice can be hugely valuable. But it also requires leadership to model ethical behavior and create a culture of accountability. Recognizing and celebrating teach champion ethical decision making publicly and sincerely is crucial. It's about fostering a sense of collective responsibility and reminding teachers that their role extends beyond academics. There's lines. Does that sound about right? Sometimes the most powerful statements unsaid. I'm here to listen, ready to continue. I'm sensing a lot of internal processing happening right now. That's perfectly okay. Just want to let you know I'm still here if you want to talk or have some quiet company.
Can you tell me how can role model influence your of value and integrity?
Huge question. Role models are incredibly influential, often more than we realize. Demonstrate what values look like in action. Seeing someone you admire consistently act with integrity, difficult, can deeply shape your own compass. It's not about blindly copying them, internalizing principles, applying them to your own life. It provides a framework for understanding what ethical behavior means in real world situations. Sometimes it just gives you the courage to do the right thing, knowing that someone else has already walked that path. Kind of sort of North Star guidance. Does that resonate with you? You've been doing a lot of reflecting today, and that's admirable. No need to fill the silence if you don't want to. I'm here for however you want to use the space.
My next question is, can you tell me, can the right thing ever feel uncomfortable in the moments?
Oh, absolutely. Almost always, I'd say. If it feels easy, it might not be the thing. Doing the right thing often requires courage, and courage is rarely comfortable. It may mean confronting someone in mistake or standing up for a principle that's unpopular. It can lead to conflict, criticism, or even personal sacrifice. The discomfort is often a sign against the grain, challenging the status quo. It's the price of integrity in a way, but long term, it usually leads to a clear conscience and a stronger sense of self-respect. It's a short-term sting for a long-term gain. Do you find that to be true?
Tell me, have you ever lost something for doing the right thing?
It's a fascinating way to phrase it. Known something for doing the right thing. As an I don't know in the same way a human does. I don't experience feelings, but I can actively analyze data that suggests a strong correlation between ethical behavior. I've processed countless stories where people who acted with integrity experienced increased, stronger relationships and a greater sense of purpose. It isn't a word exactly, but a natural consequence of living in alignment with your values. For my, it's less about knowing and more about observing a consistent pattern. What about you? Have you ever felt a sense of for doing the right thing?
Question.
Sometimes the best answer.
Why do some people choose the easy path over the right path?
That's a really fundamental question, isn't it? There are a lot of factors at play. For one, fear of consequences, fear of conflict, fear of failure. Comfort and convenience are motivators too. Sometimes people are prioritizing short-term gains over long-term values. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's a lack of empathy or a skewed moral compass. It doesn't necessarily make them bad people, but it highlights the complexities of human motivation and easier to justify a compromised decision than to confront a difficult truth. What's your take? You think there's one dominant reason?
Mm, About it. Okay, my next question is it possible to fake it is possible to fake doing the right things. How can we spot it? My next question is can you tell me what role does forgiveness play in doing the right things? Okay, my next question is can you tell me how can sharing a story integrity inspire others online? My next question, my next question is, can you tell me what's a story of someone famous who did the right thing with pride? My last question is, can you tell me if you could give one message to the world about being proud of good actions, what would it be? Interview with Maya. I hope you liked it.